video will show you how to add scrolling text or image to a video clip. And first thing you need to do is create the clip that you want to scroll. So we'll go to, I'm going to use Windows Paint, and just open it up and create a text box. And you can choose different colors and different fonts and everything, but I'm going to keep this real simple on this just for examples. I'm going to set my size to 16 and go ahead and make this box about the size of what the cursor is flashing there and the full width of the display area. And the reason that just gives me less to have to crop by making it about that size, but it doesn't have to be the exact size because you're going to crop it anyways. Chose a background color and a text color, and I'm going to go ahead and type out my text message that I want to scroll across the screen on my video. So let me get that typed out. And once you've got the message typed out, if it needs to be longer than this, you can create multiple clips and then just piggyback them one behind the other. But mine's just gonna need one line to get it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and save it as, and put a name for this file. And I'm gonna make a note of myself where this video or this little clip is going to be located at, so I can find it easily in a minute when I need to go find it. So now that it's saved, I'll go ahead and open up Lightworks program, and of course I do it run as administrator. Once it opens up, I have a tutorial screen there. I already started this project on, so I'm going to open it back up and get rid of some of this stuff I left up from the last time I was on here. Okay, now what you want to do is move the playhead on the edit clip to where you want the scrolling text to start at. And once you get it positioned exactly where you want it to start, mark that as the end. Turn everything else off except for the video line and the FX line, and that's where I want it to start, so I'll mark that as my starting point. Move the cursor or the playhead to where I want the text message to end at, and I'm making this about 10 seconds long. You can make it longer or shorter. It'll make the message go across there faster or slower. Now that it's set, I go to Effects, under Keying, and then choose Image Key as my effect. And the first thing I need to do is choose a file to use for the image. And of course I already have this set to right where that new file was I just created. So I'm going to choose it, and it's going to put it up there on the middle of the screen there. And I got all my parameters here, so the first thing I need to do is do my cropping and my resizing and everything. Of course, to do all that, I'm going to turn all these on, the green buttons on, so that they're all keyframeable. So let me get all them opened and turned on. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do my cropping first, and I'm on the first keyframe, the very beginning of this, of course. So I'm going to do all the cropping and get them like I want them, so it's just the message. And this is the right side there. Okay. Now that the cropping's done there, I'm going to go ahead and close that little section off and go to the scale. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this quite a bit so that it's easier to read. Of course, you can scale it to whatever size you want and whatever looks good to you. Get these all set the way I want them. Okay, and the next thing to do is to change the XY coordinates for the starting position. I'm going to move it all the way over to the very edge where just the leading edge is showing on the screen, and then I'm going to drop that down. I want it to run across the bottom, so I'm going to move it so it's down at the bottom. Now, this is the starting position for this clip, and then once I get that set, since everything's keyframeable, I'll go to the ending position and set everything there. Okay, that looks pretty good for the start. Alright, so scroll down. I'm going to start with the cropping, I guess, first, and turn it back on so I can see those windows. Now go to the last keyframe or the end, and you see everything goes back to 0, so I need to switch back and forth so I can see what my settings are. Actually, for the cropping, you can do it pretty much by eye and get it probably close enough, but I like to make them the exact same number so that way nothing floats around on the screen. And get that one set. I don't remember the other two, so I'll go back, see what they were, and then reset that. You can just bounce back and forth from the first keyframe to the last keyframe if you can't remember them all at one time. That way you don't have to write them down. Just see what the number is and then move the slider, or I'm going to show you on the next one, instead of moving the slider, you can just highlight that where that number is and change it, and then that will do the same thing. Okay, that's done. Now I need to get my scales set. Okay, that one I'm going to highlight it and change it to what the first keyframe was. Save it or hit enter, and then do the other Y coordinate. That didn't take. There we go. Okay, get the Y where it's supposed to be. Okay, well now that shows it off to the beginning, and now at the last keyframe, of course, I need to tail off to the very end. So let me bring it the other way. So this number is the only one that will really change, is the ending position for the X coordinate. And I'm going to save it and close that out, and now I'm going to move my playhead before that effect takes effect so you can see it, play it out for you. Of course, when it gets to the starting position, you'll see it. There it goes, right across the screen there. Of course, using the keyframe parameters, you can do a lot of things with it. You can move it up and down or at a diagonal. You can do all kinds of different ways of doing it. You can blink it in and out if you want to as well. Here's the video up closer or a larger view so you can see it better with it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Okay, that pretty much sums it up for you. Hope this was helpful to you. Have a good day.